Hello and welcome everyone to the end of round one of my solo playthrough of the Conflict of Heroes Storms of Steel scenario called Graveyard. I own the second edition, or actually the first edition of Storms of Steel. There is no second edition, there is a third one. Don't have that one yet. Might actually decide to buy it because the maps are really a lot nicer than in the first edition, but still a bit undecided. It's a lot of money for, basically a game that I already have with nicer maps, but, it's tempting. Anyway, it's the end of round one. I've already done the pre-round sequence or the end of round sequence. The Germans lead by 4-0. The Russians have destroyed a German gun, which didn't even get off a shot. It was taken out by a Russian tank, and the Germans have actually destroyed quite a few units. As you can see on the board, there was some heavy fighting going on here. There's a stack of units there, some hit counters, 2 wreck counters for destroyed Russian units. That particular German unit entered that hex and destroyed, I believe, 2 Russian units. One was already damaged, and it also damaged another German unit that already happened to be in that hex. Other than that, this truck unit moved behind the cover. That is, this wreck blocks line of sight, which kind of saves it, well, more or less keeps it safe from that Russian unit. Has been relatively easy for the Germans to take out the Russian units that are abandoned. There's a control marker beneath it. Perhaps I should put it over it. It is quite easy for them to move up there. Of course, there is something else I could have done. I set up the Russian units here. I could have set them up here. It's not entirely true because those enter over here on map 8 and on map 7, and I already set them up very close to this side of the board, so the Germans can very easily pick them off. They also destroyed, another Russian unit somewhere. I don't quite recall where that one was. I think it was over here. So that's a relatively easy way for the Germans to score victory points. What else? Yeah, I also found out that the Swift action card, initially I was a bit confused by what it actually does, but I looked it up online. What it does is that you pay one command point for the card, and then you actually take 2 actions, but you still have to pay for them. So what you pay for with the card is to be allowed to take 2 consecutive actions without the opposing side getting to take an action. Other than that, did anything particularly interesting happen? Well, that's really it, basically. For now, although perhaps the Russians committed some mistakes, it does seem to be a relatively easy scenario for the Germans, in the sense that if they can keep their trucks from being destroyed, which yield the Germans 3 victory points each at the end of the scenario, so that is definitely still something they can do. But as I said, it's quite easy for the Germans to pick off the abandoned Russian units. They can simply move into the hex, take a shot at the rear of the tank, and usually destroy it with 1 shot. Oh yeah, and one more thing. I looked it up online as well, and I got an answer from someone, and it seems to be in the latest version of the Living Rules, that actually both commanders of a certain side take their action first, and then play switches to the other player, whose 2 commanders then take an action. So it's not 1-1, it's 2-2, so to speak. I hope that makes sense. So thank you for watching the end of the first round. I'll get back to you at the end of the second round. Thank you for watching.